Charlie Dickens, chapter 31, entitled Change. Charlie woke early, and he was relieved to see the morning light after his frightening evening. He could hear his mum snoring in bed, and he was glad that he had his own room. It was a thought which made him feel guilty. He made himself cereal, and he ate it slowly as he struggled to wake up properly. He could hear the sound of the birds outside and the faint bark of a dog in the distance. Charlie was surprised at the sound of the cereal. To him, it sounded like the crackle of gunfire or the pop of burning logs. It was only the humor of the situation which prevented him from falling asleep head first into the cereal bowl. The sound of the running shower brought him back to earth, and he shouted a quick goodbye to his mum, and then he stepped outside. As soon as he did, he almost wished that he hadn't. The wind and the rain blew into his face, and it turned his recently combed hair into a bird's nest. He walked up the street with his head down. This is not a good start to the day, he thought. And he managed to get to the lamppost where Tinker always stood as regular as her favourite alarm clock. And Charlie was surprised to see that there was no one there. He waited for about 15 minutes as all of the school kids filed past, and he did his best not to look miserable or that he was waiting for someone. The rain was beginning to sneak into his socks, and his feet were getting cold. He sneezed for the last time, and he decided to walk to the corner shop to warm up, so that he could attempt to get dry and gather his thoughts. At least they have magazines there, he thought, and he began to cheer up. All of that changed when he saw Tinker in the corner of the shop, but he wasn't alone. He was with his new girlfriend, and they were kissing. Charlie didn't know what to do, as a barrage of uncomfortable emotions engulfed him. So he decided to buy some sweets, as he felt silly just standing there, and he wasn't sure if Tinker could see him, as Tinker was obviously preoccupied with kissing and cuddling the girl. Charlie wanted him to notice him, or at least to say hello. He was hurting inside, and the last thing that he wanted to do was to cry. Finally, they pried each other apart like barnacles, and Tinker looked over at Charlie and he winked. Charlie shuffled his feet and he pretended to read the comics which were in front of him. He didn't know what to say or do. "Oh, there's your friend," said Anne. "What's he doing here?" she said a little too loudly. Tinker looked over, and Charlie thought that he saw a flash of irritation on his face. "Oh, he's just looking at silly comics," he said disdainfully. Anne stifled a cruel laugh from behind her hand, and before Tinker could glance over again, Charlie had disappeared with the sound of the chiming door.